Hey everyone, it's Cuddly, Kitwana, although you can hardly see me, but it's me. So in the last episode of Kitwana's Toys from last week, I showed you my very favorite big cat plushie and actually my very favorite toy overall. And as promised in that episode, today we are looking at my most favorite tiger plush that I own. And it's actually also my largest big cat plush toy that is in my collection. As you can see here, wow, look at this huge kitty. Such a big boy. And as with all of my big cat plushies, it's the same type of, same construction type with the molded head. As you know, I only buy molded head, hard head big cat plush toys because these allow for a much more realistic head and face features. This kitty, this tiger is no different. So we take a close look at him. Of course, starting with the head, take a look at this highly realistic face. As for the face goes, as you know, the most important part are the eyes. The eyes are inserted just correctly here, and they are inserted deeply enough so that they look realistic enough, and they're also very shiny eyes. If you shine light against it, it will nicely reflect on the pupils. And there are many bad examples of these molded head tigers that have the eyes hardly inserted at all, so they look very big and very spooky. This is not the case on this one, and you can even slightly change its look by rearranging the fur around its eyes. You can make the eyes a little bit bigger or smaller, making it look a bit more aggressive or less aggressive. That's because of the longer pile fur. The whiskers are also present. As you can see, they did not fall out yet, even though I own this plushie since 2012, quite a long time, and I cuddle with it every night. And got the plastic nose, and look at that fur. I mean, the detailing, the markings are simply perfect. Even the white around the eyes that allow tigers to see better in the dusk or at night. That's been perfectly recreated, and you can also see the characteristic beard that tigers have has been perfectly modeled on this one. This kitty, this looks so amazing, and it's so huge. Take a look at this. Wow. If we pan across its body, you can see beautiful plush, and the striping pattern is very realistic, just like it would be on a real-life tiger. Not too many and not too few, and you can see also the shapes of the stripes are very true to an original tiger. Not too many stripes on its forelegs, but a couple more on its rear legs. Wow, this is so big I can hardly handle it. And here's the tail, which is stuffed as well. Looking very good. And wow, this kitty is so realistic. And I've been thinking about what subspecies of tiger this could be, and due to its bulky appearance and as you may have noted, its longer pile fur compared to my other tiger plushies that you may have seen when you watched Kitwana's Toys episode number 43, which had all of the big cat plushies that I own. Because of these facts, I think this comes close to a Siberian tiger, also known as armored tiger, and these are the largest subspecies of tiger in terms of body size and mass. And actually, when I looked it up on Wikipedia, this plushie comes really close to an average-sized Siberian tiger, more close to a female Siberian tiger, which are a little bit smaller, but you can see proportions are also very, very nice. The body is not too short. I often see tiger plushies with an incredibly short body and a head that's too big, but that's not the case on this one. So I definitely consider this to be my Siberian tiger. Also, if we look at its belly, you can see how it nicely goes from the golden into the white color. That's very realistic how they did that. That's amazing. I'd say this is not only a plush toy. It's not something that you would put on a shelf and just look at it. It's a piece of artwork, and it's something that you really can use every day. Actually, I use it every day. I cuddle it, I hug it, I snuggle with it. Sometimes I just hold him while watching TV or relaxing, and at night when I sleep, this tiger is in my bed, and when I sleep, I have my left arm around his neck like this, and I hug him all night long, and he's keeping me company. It's a really, really, really amazing tiger plush. Let's look at it from the right-hand side. Also very nice. Take a look at this incredible head. As said, it's molded, so this gives it a very realistic shape. Take a look from this side. That's the big cheeks and the beard. I really, really like that. And see his body. This lower pile fur has the advantage that it covers the seams pretty well, so they are hardly visible. You can see where the stripes meet. That's where the seam goes through, but actually it doesn't look too bad. Doesn't take away much from the realism. And let's look at the head from behind. Even the white spots on the ears that help tiger cubs following their mother through the dense forests of eastern Russia. Even these have been perfectly recreated, very, very, very realistic. And oh, this is just too perfect of a plushie. Let's turn around this guy once more. Take a look at the paws. Here, tiger paws are incredibly huge. If you have ever looked at a tiger in a zoo, then probably may have noticed it. The real deadly thing of a tiger aren't actually its teeth, but it's their claws that are in here. You can actually see by the black markings where the claws are supposed to be. I think they did really good. The only thing I don't really like is, just like on my lioness I showed last week, they should have gone for a solid black for its paw pads. Same here, you can see. But at least they recreated the paw pads so you can see them, and the paws are appropriately sized. That's really cool. And the stuffing is just right, I would say. You can recreate some tiger behavior, like have it lick its paws like this, or imagine it has a piece of meat between its legs. It can grab that piece of meat, and you can pretend to play with it like if he would eat it, and of course lick its paws or clean itself, scratch itself. This is so super cool. So if you have ever dreamed of interacting with a tiger, well, I cannot organize you a real tiger. That's pretty difficult, although I've done it. I've done this before in Germany a couple of years ago. I was super lucky to be able to interact with a 2-year-old tigress named Mara at a park where animals live that have been used for TV and movie productions. I was able to get close and actually pet a 2-year-old tiger, and that was one of my coolest experiences in my life. I was even able to put my head onto the tiger like this, and from this experience I can tell you that this plushie is the closest thing to a real tiger that you can get. Let's look at the size. This specific plushie measures around 150 centimeters from the tip of its paws to where its tail begins, and that's around 60 inches, and from the tip of the nose to where the tail begins it's around 120 centimeters, and the height from the bottom up to the highest part of its head is around 55 centimeters, and the tail is almost 1 meter long, 95 centimeters, and if we look that up in Wikipedia, average size for a Siberian tiger, then we can see this is pretty close to life size. So it hardly doesn't get better than this and more realistic than this. Just a little bit smaller, could have been a few inches longer, for example, but the tail is very appropriately sized, and pretty much everything else. So this really is as close as you can get to a real tiger. And like I already told you in Kitwana's Toys number 43 and in the last episode with the lioness, I do not know where exactly this tiger was made, but it's very, very likely that it was made in one of 2 factories in the city of Weihai in China. Again, I'll give you the links to those in the description of the video. And I also found a good eBay seller in Germany. So this eBay seller has tigers that are pretty close to this one. It's all the molded head tigers, including one that has this size and this pose and a pretty similar face. So yeah, the only negative things, as already said, they could have done a little bit better job on the paw pads by using a solid black. And I noticed the fur here around its neck. When I usually hug it like this, the fur becomes worn, and the stuffing has dislocated just a little bit, but it's only this spot here on its neck. And what you can do And what you should do, no matter how many times you cuddle with your plushies, get a pet brush and take good care of your plushies. Brush them like this in the direction of the fur to get the dust out, even if your plushies just sit on a shelf. This is very important. Keep them clean, and if you cuddle with them, if they are in your bed, you are going to sweat. There will be dust particles as well, and little hairs and stuff like this. Sanitize your plushies and clean them with a sponge and water. Surface clean them with shampoo at least once a year, and take good care of them. I use the pet brush for each bird, for example, to make it nice, and especially here, often overlooked, around its neck. Very important that you keep the fur in a good condition, so your tiger will look as royal as it can only be. So you can see it definitely does its job, and it's very useful to have a pet brush, because you cannot put these plushies into a washing machine. These are way too big. So you have to take good care by hand. And never immerse them in water. The stuffing will never dry again, and it will rot, and then that will ruin your plushie for good. And we don't want to have that happen. So I think this is all that I have to say for this huge tiger. I said this is my biggest big cat plush, one of my very biggest plush at all, with the exception of the life-size Lion King Simba. But this one is so cool. I cuddle with it every day, and it's in my bed, and it keeps me company, and these plushies mean a lot to me. These are my favorite toys, and it's no wonder that according to a WWF, World Wildlife Fund survey, people have chosen the tiger as their favorite animal. Got even more votes than dogs and cats. And even I, as a lion, have to admit I'm very fascinated by tigers. My other favorite animal besides the lion is definitely the tiger, and that's why I have so many tiger plushies. Take a final look at it again from all the sides. Here is it in from the right hand side. This is big. Take a look at this. Now this part is very nice to use as a pillow. I really like the curved pose, so you really have a feeling that the tiger is actively snuggling onto you as well. So this is cool. I like that it's a curved plush. And we'll get that face. The plastic nose makes for a lot of realism. Obviously you would have done the lips a little bit better, a little bit more black, but it's good enough, at least from this side. This plush is way too realistic. So yeah, that was it. Check out the links in the video description if you are interested in owning such a tiger. Just be aware that it's really, really huge and heavy. So definitely do not give this to a very young child. It is heavy, but it's no problem to use as a toy for older kids, and of course for adults as well. But be sure to take very, very good care of it. Keep it clean, and then you will have fun for years with your tiger. I really love this Lifelike big cat plushies, and I hope to add more to my collection over time, and when I do, I'll let you know and present it here on Kitwana's Toys. For now, I say goodbye, happy Halloween tonight, but remember to stay safe during the pandemic, and I'll see you next weekend again. Bye!